Okay, I think that might have get me live. I think. I don't know. Can y'all hear me? Is there anybody here? And y'all are back. Can you hear me? I think I've got audio going. Can y'all hear me? I am talking. Can you hear me? Dang it, what the heck's going on? bad. Ah! That happened all of a sudden. I think we got things working now. I don't know what's going on. Thanks, Charles. It's bouncing off the wall there for a second. Thank you. I don't know what was going on. Something wasn't connected. But good evening, everybody. I'm only 13 minutes late getting this thing working. But mostly I wanted to come. There's 2 more weeks that I'm going to be accepting names for Christmas in July. And then after that, we're going to close it so that I can do the randomization and get people names out and let everybody have time to buy gifts. And Lloyd Ford, I am having a much better evening right now than I was 10 minutes ago. I couldn't figure out what was going on with StreamYards there for a minute. But we got it now. And it's all good. No, Barbara's not on the list, and neither is Terry. But then, Nickel, I don't think you are either. But I got 22 people counting myself. Look and see. I don't think you're here, though, Nickel. No, I don't see your name on here. But I don't see Terry's name. I really wanted to be Terry's Secret Santa. Or have her be my Secret Santa. That would really be the best. But at any rate, Secret Santa's fun. If you want to play, send me an email. I'll need your screen name, your mailing address, and your email address. Now, I'll be able to get your email address off of the email you send me, but it's easier for me if you put it in the body of the email. And I went to a wedding on Saturday. Saturday was May the 4th. So what was the theme of the wedding? May the 4th be with you. They had, well, you can see Darth sitting up there. Yeah, it was a Star Wars theme. And you knew that already, Nickel. I told you last night. But they had these rings, Darth Vader ring, R2-D2 ring, and the C-3PO. They were, everybody had something sitting in front of their plate on the table, and I managed to get one of each one of them at the end of the night because people just left them sitting there. But I used them to make some sand molds with, and Darth is cooler than shit. And then there's C-3PO and R2-D2. Between the 3 of them, there's 5 ounces of silver in them. And I know that there's y'all might not be, but there are lots and lots of Star Wars freaks out there. And so I'm thinking there might be somebody that'll love these pieces. But they're kind of cool, I mean, I'm not all into that. Joe McBride, how are you doing, buddy? Just talking about Christmas in July mostly and showing off some of these pours that I made yesterday. But I think the Darth Vader's the best one. He's got the most detail and all that. But it was a fun wedding. I got high with a Wookiee. It was all people knew that this was a Star Wars wedding. I didn't. So I wore a suit, the whole 9 yards. Doctor Who, hello. I thought I was dressed to the nines, and I get there, and it was a freak wedding. It was a lot of fun. Oh, thank you, Charles. The person who wanted the hook'em horns is just ecstatic that you made the mold. We're gonna get you covered on this too, and maybe get you a set of silver hook'em horns. Even though you're from Oklahoma, I know it ain't right. But we're gonna be doing Secret Santa. You've got 2 weeks from today to get your information into me. Silver Oceans, how are you? Long time no see. Miss Ida is not going to be able to do Christmas in July this year. She needs to basically take the month of July off. And so I'm kind of running it in her stead for people that are interested in playing. That I'm taking name. If you send me an email with your screen name, your mailing address, and your email address, come the last week of May, I will randomize names and send you an email with the person that you are to gift something to. Somebody else will get your name, and we'll have this gift exchange at the beginning of July. And people can come up on Miss Ida's in the morning. Well, Miss Ida will be off. I'll be covering for her some. Angel will be covering for her some. No, Pops is not on the list, Nickel. I haven't had a chance to talk to Pops in a long time. Steve is not on the list, but he told me that he might do it. So I wouldn't expect it, but he might. I mean, he wants to see me smile, so he tells me things that aren't true every once in a while. But that's okay. I mean, if people don't want to play, they don't want to play. But there are some people that are signed up to play that are very good silver artists. So they'll probably be sending out silver art. I'll probably be sending out silver art. Whatever like you said, if you want to send somebody a box of fireworks for 4th of July, that would be absolutely fine. I mean, somebody'd get a kick out of that, wouldn't they? And you can spend a lot of money on fireworks. I'll go through it for you, Nickel. It's mostly people that hang out in Ida's in the morning, but got Rockzilla, Chief Stacker, 7 Stacks, Lady Bluegrass, Jack Gallman, Sherry Ward, Dad Learning Coins, Venture DeLow, Kevin Rose Jr., Charles Latre, Lola Udi, Diana from Bob Bill Coins, Aunt Orda, Michael Hernandez, Gatita Oso, Dove Season 91, Marley and T, Daryl USA, Tom Heyman, Farm Dog, and Compton are signed up at this point. Rat Shack, how are you? How are things over there in Hawaii? Haven't seen much of you in a long time. I've been pouring a little silver when I can and making a few videos. Terry's the one that keeps up with me on my videos, though. She lets me know when I make one. I love the fact that you respond to my videos, Terry. I really do. That makes me smile. Oh, That's fantastic. I'm going to have a new grandbaby in a month, or she's due on June 8th. So, could be any time. Terry, you're the best, darling. Actually, Athena's the best. She's the one that gets all of my views on my videos. Oh, I'm excited. Miss Ida's making a baby quilt for her. And I'm going to go down to Southern Ohio and go visit when she's born. I am very, very excited. And my grandson is moving back to the United States from Okinawa. So there'll be a road between us. I'll be able to drive to visit him. So I got good things going on. But right now, I'm looking forward to Christmas in July. I always have fun with this game. Bad thing about running it is I'm actually going to know who my Secret Santa is. I have no idea what they're going to get for me. But it's cool to get something that you don't know who it's coming from, and you have no idea what it is. But at any rate, it's fun to learn about somebody too if you don't know much about them. I could just send anybody a piece of poured silver, and it's a nice gift. But how about if I send you a piece of poured silver that matches your personality a little bit? It's kind of what I try to do. A nickel, if it was you, I'd have to send you a rusty nickel. And Rat, you did some really beautiful work too, brother. I've got as many pours from you as I do from anybody. Well, nickel, I'd say old rock and roll with a pair of basketball shorts on that reach down to your knees. That would fit your personality. So maybe a Basketball Jones figure bobblehead. Well, Rat Sack, yeah, I should, because you do some really nice work, my friend. All the silver is a whole lot more expensive these days. I am. I made one last week. Let me go out in the garage and get it. It's a small one. It's probably only about 1.5 ounces, but I just wanted to do one because I haven't done one in so long. And somebody's trying to call me. Let me stop this. Oh, it stopped itself. Terry, if that was you calling, call me back after the video's over. But there's what I did just a couple days ago. Yeah, wooden drums, yeah. For a small one, it turned out kind of cool. Terry, you can always use Facebook to call me. My phone number's on there. That's how most people call me, is through Facebook. Even my kids. If I get a phone call on my real phone, I know that it's a telemarketer. I don't remember exactly what, I could weigh it, find out what that thing weighs. Charles, but you send me pictures all the time too of molds that you're making. Rat Stack, if you ever need to have some 3D molds made and somebody that will do them for you for a fair price, Charles is the man. He makes pours, he makes molds for me, and then I pay him back with pours. Yes, sir. Oh, you know, Rat, you'll love this. About 14 months ago, I started on a working towards going on a carnivore diet. I'm pretty much all the way there now, but couldn't make my candies. I mean, those Tootsie Rolls that I make are the freaking best candies I've ever had, but it's all sugar and dairy, and I can't do that stuff anymore. Last week, I made some medicated smoked beef sticks. They are freaking phenomenal. You can't taste the RSO in it at all. They taste just like a beef stick, and they rock your world. Well, Nickel, I'll beat you. I had 2 beefalo burgers. Now, they were grilled on the oven in the cast iron in beef towel, but boy, were they tasty. But the wedding that I was at, the guy that got married, he runs the grow for 5 different dispensaries in Lansing. I gave him a piece of one of my medicated beef sticks, and his eyes opened, and he goes, "These are great." He said, "There's some potential here that I'm sure that the people at the shops will be learning about this invention soon. Hopefully, I can get a little bit of a payoff from it." But nobody, I don't know anywhere where you can get medicated beef sticks. Oh, Terry's going to start making them now. She'll probably make the good ones. I mean, the way, fats blend. So it's like it blends away that nasty taste from the RSO. But I do say I'm happy with the way Darth turned out though. But the 3-piece set is 5 ounces of silver. Well, Silver Oceans, not everything needs to be medicated, but the things that are medicated need to taste good. And I can't do sugar anymore. I can't do dairy anymore. And that's basically what, people, and I don't drink alcohol. Drinking alcohol is basically the same thing as eating sugar. Nickel, yeah, you should be medicated, my friend. Now that would be a good screen name, wouldn't it? Medicated Stacker. I've actually seen a few new names that have got cannabis type names to them in the community. At one time, I was about the only one. No, I won't drink no Coke Zero. I won't drink all that manufactured crap. I drink water. I do make a drink that I drink a little bit every day. Probably, I don't know, maybe 10 ounces or so a day. But I start with coconut milk. Put a can of coconut milk in the blender and about 2.5 cans of water, a big old handful of dried coconut, about a pint and a half of some kind of berries, blueberries, blackberries, and a little vanilla, and blend that up. And it gets nice and thick and frothy. So it coats you like the milk does going down. It's a little bit kind of sweet because of the berries, but it's tasty and it's fulfilling. But that's the only thing I drink other than milk. Did you guys have a referendum? Well, no, you're not in Kentucky. Steve's in Tennessee. He's not in Kentucky. But I have lots of friends, and I lived in Kentucky for 9 years. I still have people down there. My son lives in Ohio, but he's right on the river. Victoria, how are you, darling? Good to see you. I'm just kind of doing this stream to remind people to sign up for Christmas in July if they want to. Steve will take your teasing pretty well. I think he'll give it back to you every time he gets a chance to. Silver Oceans, that there is some truth to that for sure. My favorite berries of all the berries, and I can't get them very often, but the black raspberries. Those things are sweet and tart and yummy. Well, just don't get around him when he's carrying his gun. You know, he did shoot the neighbor. I have, that's the one sweet thing that I have. I have about half a pint of berries every day. Shelby, did you send me an email? Get registered? I don't think. If I've got a new email from you, I'll get it when we get done here. But it's a fun game. And if you played it before on Idas, it's people get some cool stuff, and then we try to get you to come up on and show it off if you want to. But there's no rule that says you have to show off what you got. But most people want to give a little public thank you for whoever sent you whatever they sent you. Oceans, are you sure you don't like the dingleberries on top? But I do kind of agree. And I love strawberries, but of all the berries, they're probably my least favorite. Because they just don't have that much flavor. And the strawberries that I like are the little ones that are the size of your thumb, not these ones that are the size of your palm. Yeah, I can't believe I went to a wedding on Saturday and came home with 3 cool things that I could use to make molds with. And they make some, the Darth Vader is really good. That is C3PO is cool. Rat, are you talking about the white strawberries? I like the white strawberries. I grow some of them, but the deer get them before I get to get any of them. Shelby, I love my blueberries. I do. There isn't a berry out there that I don't like. But my favorites are black raspberries. But we had a bush of them in my backyard when I was a toddler. And that plant never had a single berry make it into the house. And it was a big bush. Well, nickel, I could tone him and make him golden looking. I mean, I thought about that. But I think if nothing else, there might be a set of these that winds up in the auction on Miss Ida's for St. Jude's next year. Because there are people that really, really love Star Wars, and a set of these guys would do well. Nickel, you send me the gold. It'll take about 52 grams, and I'll pour it for you. You send me 55 grams, I'll keep 3 grams for me and send the rest back to you. Well, that's true, Shelby, and it is. Just I can't eat that. I can't have the sugar and I can't have the crust in it. But I do remember that stuff. It's good. I just can't have it. I went to the wedding I went to on Saturday. The family is mostly Hispanic, and so it was Hispanic food. But they had beef, pork, and chicken all spiced up with good Hispanic spices. And so I was able to have a good dollop of each kind of meat and then threw some onions and some peppers and tomatoes in it. And it was a good meal for me. But it's gotten to be where it's really difficult for me to go and eat something away from home because usually they don't have much that I can eat. Y'all are killing me. I'm going to have to go eat a medicated beef stick for this just to get over it. Yeah, this is another one that Charles and I have been working on for a while. But we've got this. This is just out of the sand. It's not really totally cleaned up. But this thing, when it's cleaned up, is going to be just fantastic. Nice USA with an encused eagle right at 15 grams. I think I'll pour a bunch of those. Nickel, I actually am getting a Trump bust made by Charles. So we will have that soon. But before I can start pouring that bust, there's a couple other things. I think I'm going to have to get my hands on a furnace. I've got two furnaces, but they're both broken and different parts broke on them. And when I tried to put them together, the parts don't match. But I know somebody that lives only about 2-3 hours away that has a furnace that never uses it. So I'm going to see if I can. Oh, it's that small, Charles. Oh, well, if it's only 3/4 of an ounce, I can do a little over 2 ounces that I can get melted with my torch. So he's saying 3/4 of an ounce. So yeah, they won't be too big at all. I mean, even if he's off by 50%, it's still only going to be a little over an ounce. You know, I can melt about 80 grams with my MAP gas and feel comfortable with it. You get much more than that though, and it's hard to have it all liquid together. But I'm going to get a furnace so that I can melt more at one time. Okay. So yeah, it's going to be under an ounce. JL Silver, good evening. How are you? I think Trump's trying to make the judge put him in jail. But if the judge is smart, he won't, because that's just going to that many more people vote for Trump. Sheldine, I have a habit of pissing people off, no matter what we're talking about. So I understand. I got you, Charles. But I love the fact that you're actually understanding what works and what doesn't work in these things now, too. But I saw the pictures of D that you sent me. I think that's going to work fantastic. And the hardest thing in that's going to be getting the webbing between the legs, the flying squirrel stuff. And just because it's thin. But we are, this video is mostly about reminding you guys, if you want to play Secret Santa, send me an email. I'll need your screen name, your mailing address, and your email address. And in 2 weeks, I will do a randomization and get somebody to send something to, and somebody they will be getting something from. And it's always fun to be getting something that you have no idea what it is. Charles, I really like how this thing turned out, even though I'm a klutz and can't turn it over easily. Isn't that cool? I mean, I'll polish it up, and there'll be nice big open fields in it where you can stamp the weight on it and the purity on it. Shelby, it should never hurt your feelings to tell the truth. Might hurt somebody else's feelings, but I'd rather hurt somebody's feelings than their bones, right? Your feelings mend easily. Oh, and if you have a screen name that is something that maybe you don't want to put on an envelope, I will mention to who is your Secret Santa. You might want to like use initials or something like that for the name on the envelope. But it'll be discretionary. I mean, like Charles Latreille, his name could be on there. Shelby's name could be on there. Sterling Cannabis. Actually, I get email with Sterling Cannabis on it, and it doesn't bother me. But I get stuff from people where they'll put SC or Sterling C. Just use discretion. And if you come up with something cool to send somebody, like a Darth Vader coin, and that's what they're really into, you're gonna feel good about what you did, and you're gonna make somebody's day when they open it up. Not in the least, Silver Oceans, not in the least. Like I said, I don't mind personally, but somebody else might feel, I don't want the postmaster seeing, somebody might be afraid of the postal service getting back and tracking them if they're sending something like that. Whatever fears somebody has is what fears they have. And I'm not going to say they're not real, because they might be. I don't think Barb will sign up. I'd love to get Terry signed up, but I don't think she will. Because she doesn't want me having her address, because she knows I'll show up at her house. My phone did just ding. Did you send me one, Nickel? Angel would be a great Secret Santa. You know that she's going to spoil somebody, but she's not signed up at this point. I don't know if she's going to sign up. I'm not going to twist anybody's arm into doing it. If you don't want to do it, you don't want to do it. And this is something that we do for fun. Absolutely, Silver Oceans. Sterling is not that uncommon of a first name. I mean, it's, not like John, but it's not that uncommon. I've known a number of people named Sterling, including my grandson. All right, Nickel. I'll send you back an email as soon as I put your name on the list so that you know that you're in. Well, Silver Oceans, I did have another name that I was considering using, and that one might be even more difficult. I was thinking about using Sofa King stacking, but that would just piss some people off. Although I can't say that my name doesn't piss some people off just as it is. Yeah. Sofa King stacking. Eagle Steve, how are you? The only problem with that name, Oceans, is that people would think I was a couch potato. And that's not what I mean by it at all. But you probably get that. I'm really good, Steve. Um, Managing Christmas in July for Miss Ida this year because she's not going to be able to do her stream through the month of July. And it's a game that I've always had fun with. And so I'm going to run it this year. And that's kind of what there's 2 more weeks to get registered. The last week in May, I will take all the names that I have and do random pairings and send out emails to everybody so that they know who their Secret Santa victim is. And somebody will get your name. And by the 1st of July, people should be sending out gifts to people. And I mean, this is one thing, and it has happened in the past, is where people have signed up for it and then not sent anything out. And if you do sign up, you're going to want to make sure that you do send out your gift. Because if I find out from people that gifts have not been sent out, I mean, I'm not going to pick up the cost of your gift. No, we'll publicly shame you if you don't send out a gift. Well, Oceans, it does have a ring to it, doesn't it? Well, Rocky did tell me that he might sign up, but he hasn't as yet. And I mean, he's told me he's going to do lots of things, and he's been telling me for years he's going to do the same thing, and it hasn't happened yet. So I'm not going to hold my breath for Rocky. Love him dearly, but he's got a different agenda. Oh, I hope he wouldn't send a shirt for his Christmas gift, but he might. He has been, Victoria. He was really sick there for a while. And he was in the hospital for what, like 2 weeks when they stole his truck. Dimebag, how are you? It's been a minute. Well, Charles, you be careful, my friend. Yeah, they stole his truck out of the hospital parking lot. They called Rocky a crack addict. I don't think the boy even drinks alcohol. Yeah, they did strip his vehicle. He said it's fixable. But he couldn't even use marijuana with the job he has. And he's working on airplanes. They check him regularly. But I do believe, because it's getting on to 10:30 here now. I mean, I was a couple minutes late getting this thing going, but I've been on here near an hour, and it is past my bedtime. And I've got chiropractor in the morning. So it's going to be a big day tomorrow. And I came home from this wedding with a whole bunch of marijuana I've got to process. I've got some sitting down there on the screens right now. I got to go spend a few minutes on before I go to bed. So we will talk with you all again real soon. Thanks for coming by. And like I said, if you are interested, send me an email and we'll get you hooked up for Christmas in July. And we'll all have fun with it. Thank you, Victoria. Y'all have a blessed evening, and I will talk with you soon. I am out.